right now. Robert Graves on your left, Ronnie Ritner on your right. Both these players 8-1 coming into day number 2 of competition. I want to thank you for joining us early this morning here on the SCG Tour. Make sure you do give at SCG Tour a follow on Twitter. And new channel, new year, twitch.tv/SCG Tour here on Twitch. As Graves is going to start things off with a Botanical Sanctum. There's an attune with Ether. He's got 2 energy. He'll have another land. And for Ritner, unfortunately, no 1-drop to start with his aggressive deck.
But he did win the roll, so who cares?
So we're just all set.
We're just going to game number 2.
Veteran motorist here for Ritner. He will scry 2. Looks like he's looking at a shock among other things. I will say, you know, we talk about all these new cards here, and Saheeli Rai, which is an oldie but kind of a new card since the format has changed. Veteran Motorist is a card I think that just hasn't really been talked about enough. I think a lot of people expected this one not to be that great because of Liliana, the Last Hope, but you know, playing against that card, this card's great.
Yes, great power to mana ratio, and there are so many quality vehicles that it's not a high cost to build a deck, a red-white aggressive deck with a lot of vehicles.
Spire Buff Canal there from Graves, passes the turn back. He takes 3, does Robert. Falls down to 17, while Ritner, he's got a Thalia, and his mana is certainly online. For Graves, he does have a basic land to play, a couple copies of Spell Queller in hand. Ronnie will draw a card. It's a copy of Shock. Looks like he's going to come in here with the Thalia and the Motorist.
Come on, no play.
Well, I think he's got a... Ooh. I think he's going to play a little differently here with the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Spell Queller is going to take care of that. And Ritner, I think, is going to follow up with another Scrounger and simply pass the turn back. So back over to Graves we go. Graves will draw a card. It's another copy of Attune. You love watching aggro players play.
Well, also just someone with no nonsense, basically no mannerisms at the table. Ritner is all business.
Indeed. Rogue Refiner going to come down. 2 energy and a card there for Graves. But remember, the Rogue Refiner does enter the battlefield tapped because of the Thalia, so Ritner will draw a Mountain. We'll see how he wants to move forward on this turn. Well, this is a good choice. Attack with everybody. First strike damage will take place first, then regular damage will occur. Motorist and Spell Queller are going to trade, which means Ritner's going to get back a Scrap Heap Scrounger from the Spell Queller. The follow-up looks like it's going to be an Aether Sphere Harvester, excuse me.
I think this card is potentially a big trump for beatdown mirror matches.
Not particularly difficult to turn on. It's just got Crew 1, does this new vehicle. 3 mana 3, I didn't even know it flew.
Yeah, it's so big.
I didn't know it flew. 3/5 is already pretty tough. I didn't know this thing flew. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. You can pay an energy, give it lifelink. Crew 1's not that hard to accomplish. So I keep learning more things about that card.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't know it had 5 toughness. So, you know, Harness, Lightning Shock, that's off the table.
Very hard to kill.
Didn't know it flew until right now. And then the lifelink part I did know. And that plays a role in things occasionally.
Plus, if you're doing any sort of Harness Lightning energy stuff, it's a enabler on both ends. Either more lifelink or more power for the Harness Lightning.
Ronnie Ritner does win game number 1 here over Robert Graves. Mardu Vehicles very quickly up a game over 4-color Saheeli, and this is what Ritner's trying to do. He's pushing people around.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point about Aether Sphere Harvester, there are so many good vehicles to choose from. Heartacurin and Aether Sphere Harvester are probably the top of the list, and you can go deeper than that if you want to. But you can only play so many because they're on diminishing returns. They require crew. So interesting as the format develops, what vehicles people go to and what powerful vehicles ultimately end up on the sideline.
We'll start with Robert Graves' sideboard as he's already digging through his 15 cards. 3 Negate, 3 Tireless Tracker, 2 Dispel, 2 Nahiri the Harbinger, 2 Radiant Flames, a Jace Unraveler of Secrets, an Oath of Chandra, and a Shielded Ether Thief. He's got some options.
Well, the 2 copies of Radiant Flames, best card in his sideboard, I think by quite a bit, and he will also bring in the Oath of Chandra. Beyond that, you could maybe talk me into Nahiri's. I think the matchup is too fast for Tireless Tracker, but the Radiant Flames and the Oath of Chandra are nice cards here.
Other side of things here for Ritner, 4 Fatal Push, 2 Gideon Allies in the car, 2 Sky Sovereign Council Flagship, 2 Declaration in Stone, and some 1-ofs in Needle Spire, Shock, another copy of Aether Sphere Harvester, Key to the City, and a Thalia Heretic Cathar.
I think the 2 copies of Gideon Allies Indicar and the Thalia are the top of the list here. It's possible because Graves is playing enough of a normal game with regular creatures that stay on the battlefield that Sky Sovereign could be above the bar. I think the extra copy of Shock here is a safe card to bring in also.
I actually like the idea of Sky Sovereign if Ritner knows exactly what Graves is doing, because Graves has a lot of creatures in his deck.
And the 3 copies of Aether Sphere Harvester, I think excellent in beatdown matchups, very good at taxing planeswalkers, but in this matchup, probably an underperformer. Life total doesn't really matter all that much, and evasion isn't that great against Graves' strategy.
Well, these players are shuffling up, getting ready here for game number 2, so let's very quickly talk about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale. It's going to end on Monday morning, 10:59 East Coast time, but you still got some time to get some cheap full art basic lands.
Every week on Star City Games, there's a new sale. It goes live Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, so make sure to be checking back to the website at least once a week to see what the sale is. This week, up to 50% off full art basic lands.
Uh-oh, some people are looking for a deck tag from Ronnie Ritner.
I don't know.
Might throw you in there.
I don't know if Ronnie, I don't know, looks like the type of person with a lot to say. You know?
He's all business right now.
Yeah.
He's looking to give a beatdown.
Defend the land.
Definitely defending the land, which the Cavs did not do yesterday. But he's trying to defend the land. And most importantly, he's looking to make another top 8 here on the SCG Tour. Both players are going to take a look at their opening hand. Graves is happy. Is Ritner? Ritner is not.
See, mulligans on the draw game 2 are free, as we saw when he mulliganed to 5 against Chris Anderson, because you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, you're just going to lose this game. Well, for Ritner, who's going down to 6 cards, we learned a little bit more about the 25-year-old from Cleveland, Ohio. 2 open top 8s, 1 invitational top 8 a couple of years ago in Indianapolis. A scratch golfer. He's very, very, very good at golf. Level 1 Pokemon trainer. And this is where the bond is. Huge Cleveland Cavaliers
Implied
fan.
defender of the land.
That's correct. Big Cavs fan.
Do you know what level 1 Pokemon trainer means?
Not really, because I don't do the whole Pokemon thing. I don't think level 1 is good.
Okay.
I assume that's the lowest level you can be.
Or the highest, maybe. I don't
It can
know.
only be one of the two.
Right.
You're either the best or the worst.
It'd be weird if it was something in the middle.
Sure.
that I would take issue with their ranking system.
Yes. Might have to have a little conversation with them about that. Ritner, let's see, he's 5 years younger than me, so he is before my time. As I went to college and stuff, is probably when he was coming up, and I think we would have had a lot of fun at the local store together, just giving beatdowns and doing a lot of sealed decks, driving to PTQs together. Him and Kevin Gearhart.
Ah, yeah.
Those are the two. Those are the two that are that are after me, after my graduation from Ohio when I went to college in Indiana, that I really wish I could have hung out with when I was younger. I think we would have just gotten into a lot of trouble. Attune with Ether here from Graves. He's got 2 energy, and he'll get himself an island. Concealed Courtyard into the Toolcraft Exemplar. And we'll head back over to Robert Graves. Yeah, if I play Standard, which I will at some point, it's one way for me.
Yeah.
I'm copy-pasting this Marta Vehicles deck, or whatever Ronnie says stunk. I'll cut that and put something else in. It's one way here. In Oath of Nissa, Saheeli Rai here for Robert Graves.
I just really like the Mardu beatdown decks with an artifact theme and 4x Spire of Industry.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know, should you be doing the vehicle thing, just the beatdown thing, whatever. But I like this a lot. The mana's so good.
Here's a Thraben Inspector. Clue on the way.
Spire of Industry is busted, by the way.
That's a really good card.
That card is busted.
There's a shock to take care of the Toolcraft Exemplar. Anything else for Ritner? Nope, he'll just pass the turn back over to Graves. Graves will draw a card. He's picked up a forest. He's also got a mountain and an island in hand. There is the island. I think we'll see Saheeli here, and we will. Magic's newest Planeswalker, which is a weird thing to say, but this thing wasn't a thing in Kaladesh, and it certainly is now.
It went from, maybe this is a casual build around, or maybe a thing you can do to Modern, to the talk of the format.
DePaula the draw there for Ritner. Attack for 1 from the Inspector is going to knock Saheeli down to 3.
So now, Ronson can tap out here and maybe die.
Well, that'll help.
Or he can leave up Unlicensed Disintegration, and you know what? Taps out.
Oh, yeah, play your spells.
Of course, play your spells.
Now, there's a chance, he gets humiliated by a Radiant Flames here, but play your spells.
Yeah, like you're beating Radiant Flames ever anyway.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Come on. Scry to the top, Radiant Flames, yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Totally fine.
I already mulliganed on the draw. I was losing this game no matter what.
A mountain from Graves, we head back over to Ritner. Ritner will draw a card. I think it may have been a Gideon. That's just going to be a Thalia. He'll pass the turn back. Back over to Bobby Graves. Graves will draw. He's got an Oath of Chandra. I think he's going to, he's going to kill him right now. He's going to play Felidar Guardian. Wait for it.
Oh.
Oath.
Okay.
Kill that.
Yeah, now he's got it.
Blink it, kill you.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, you win that one. now you got to be on the draw and beat me against 7 cards.
Gotta be tough. Gotta be tough. This is very.
Because I don't mulligan game 3 on the play.
No way.
No way.
Keeping a one-lander, I'm not mulliganing.
Right.
Not gonna happen. Robert Graves ties things up here against Ronnie Ritner. 4 colors to Healy, Marty Vehicles. They're going to game number 3. See both players not even really reaching for the sideboards here. They're just shuffling up, getting ready to rock and roll.
I think the sideboarding here is pretty straightforward from Graves' side. The Oath of Chandra and the Radiant Flames, I think, are stars. And you could talk me into Nahiri if he's got enough bad cards in the main deck.
Okay. I think Ronnie's giving things a little once-over here now that he's back on the play. So we'll give him a second to do that while Graves is already shuffling up. He's ready to rock and roll. Let's talk about the Aether Revolt pre-release playmat. Now, if you did play in a pre-release for Aether Revolt, obviously very smart. This set is awesome. Playing with new sets ahead of time is also awesome. And if you played at one that was hosted by Star City Games, you got yourself a Pandra Nalar playmat. Though, if you weren't able to make it out to your pre-release or one that was hosted by Star City Games, you can head over to go.starcitygames.com/creaturecollection and get yourself a Pandra Nalar playmat. We don't have a ton left in stock, but I know a lot of people are really excited about this playmat. So you can head over to go.starcitygames.com/creaturecollection and pick one up today. And for Amonkhet, for Amonkhet,
A little on the nose.
we might have something cool coming out soon. Not that I gave anything away. Just saying for Amonkhet, we might have something cool coming down the pipeline, as you like to say. That's all I'm saying. Maybe yes, maybe no. It's time for beatdowns.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You've had your coffee this morning, right? You're good to go?
A little bit. I mean, whatever thimbles they had in the jury. It's, it's hard. Times are tough all over.
We'll learn a little more about Robert Graves here very quickly. 27-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky. I've actually known him since my PTQ days, so since about 11 years now. 3 open top 8s. He's played in a handful of Pro Tours as well. Won the last North American Championship for Warhammer Invasion. So he's a gamer.
Cool.
Works for Something to Do, a local Louisville game store, and part of the Fantasy Flight Games flight crew for the 27-year-old member of Team Card Hoarder. These are the kind of decks he likes to play 4 and 5 color decks as often as possible, it seems like.
Do you know what the flight crew is?
I don't. I got to ask him.
Okay.
I'm sure some.
Because I know Fantasy Flight Games, I
don't know anything about it.
They produce a lot of board games.
Okay.
And they are very much on like the intricate and elaborate side of things.
Okay. I mean, I know that Bobby is a huge gamer, along with a lot of the Louisville PTQ group. Back when I was in college, it was like him, Scott Schauf, Chris O'Brien, a bunch of guys you might not be that familiar with. But basically, I loved any time there was a PTQ in Louisville because just gamers through and through. And Louisville, Star City hosted a Grand Prix there a couple weeks ago. Louisville's just sweet.
I haven't been, and I've always meant to go out there because it just seems like a cool spot. And also one of my best friends is originally from there, but haven't had the time and opportunity. There was a few years ago where a Legacy Grand Prix would have been enough reason, but that time has passed.
Go down there, get yourself a hot brown.
Okay.
That's a real thing, by the way.
Okay.
It's a sandwich. Get yourself a hot brown. They're
Go
good.
check out a game at the KFC Yum Center.
That's also real. That's also a real thing. Scry and Scry, both players on 6 here. Graves going to leave his on top, so will Ritner. Does he have a 1-drop? That's the question. Concealed Courtyard, yes. 3-man Inspector, get a clue. Arguably the best start.
That's game.
That's strong.
He's got a second land. I don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah. Ritner's going to come in here for 1. Graves is going to fall down to 19. The follow-up, Inspiring Vantage, Heart of Kirin. Pass the turn back over to Graves. Graves will draw a card, a Cloud Blazer. He's got a Botanical Sanctum. He's got plenty of colors of mana as Ritner will draw a card, Spire of Industry. There's a mountain. This is an Inventor's Apprentice. See if that resolves. Crew the Heart of Kirin, in for 4 in the air. Any follow-up here for Ritner? No, he's just going to pass the turn back. Graves is just going to draw a card.
Looks like he has Radiant Flames.
Yeah, and he's going to play it all right. That's going to take care of all of Ritner's creatures. 3 colors of mana because of all those Kaladesh Fastlands. And Ritner's going to sacrifice a clue. He'll draw a card. Looks like another copy of Spire of Industry. He'll draw another card. Looks like a Plains. Flooding out a little bit here is Ronnie as he plays the Spire and passes the turn back. Graves will draw. Picked up a Felidar Guardian. Here's a Forest. He'll just simply pass the turn back over to Ritner. Ritner will play another Spire of Industry and pass the turn back, Unlicensed Disintegration in hand. Starting the Conduit here for Robert Graves. He'll get 2 energy.
Ritner desperately needs Gideon or some other high impact play right now.
Yes, he does.
Especially with Graves' hand just being loaded with removal.
A Plains, Thraben Inspector, not a bad start. That'll cantrip here for Ritner if he wants to sacrifice things now, which he does. Now he'll draw a card. Looks like an Inspiring Vantage. And he'll pass the turn back over to Graves. Graves might be thinking removal spell here. Let's have a shot. At this point, Graves has so much removal, he might as well just fire 1 off, right?
Especially since he's kind of trying to suppress Ritner's ability to crew the Heart of Kirin. And the Thraben Inspector could commit. Also, Graves is just tight on mana, and I don't think he wants to burn off 2 mana there. Handful of spells.
Attune with Ether here from Robert Graves. He's going to search for a land. And he will go with a basic Plains. 2 more energy, up to 4. And I think what we're going to see here from Graves after this is he's going to play that Plains and play Cloud Blazer, and that might just put a wrap on this game. Cloud Blazer is going to be pretty tough for Ritner to beat from this spot.
Well, it depends somewhat on the cards that Graves draws. I still think Ritner's in a spot where if he draws Gideon or maybe Sky Sovereign, he can pull himself back into this game. But his regular creatures, I don't think amount to very much at this point.
Felidar Guardian and Inspiring Vantage there for Graves, as Ritner is going to untap and draw a card. A mountain is what he has found. Inspiring Vantage and simply pass the turn back is what Ritner will do. Graves will draw a Prophetic Prism. I think he might start with the Prism, and he will. And that'll cantrip. Another Prism here. Cloud Blazer is going to come across here for 2 along with the Servant of the Conduit. Ritner going to fall down to 16, Inspiring Vantage, and simply going to pass the turn back. Will Graves over to Ritner. Ritner will draw. I believe a Toolcraft Exemplar is the play, and it is. Trigger, Heart of Kirin like to attack, and a Harness Lightning is going to take care of that. Ritner will pass the turn back over to Graves. Graves will draw an Oath of Nissa. See where he wants to start the turn. He'll start the turn with the Oath. Top couple of cards here. Felidar Guardian, another Oath, and the Ether Hub. Guardian is the selection. Here's an attack for 2 in the air. Ritner will fall down to 14. And now we'll see Graves play one of the Guardians he has in his hand, I believe, to try to target his Cloud Blazer. Ritner going to play a Shock to take care of that. No value there from the Guardian. But even a 1/4 on this board is hard for Ritner to get through. Yeah,
and again, we're kind of getting to Gideon, Sky Sovereign, or bust, and we may have even passed that point.
Thalia, Heretic Cathar's the draw. Ritner will play that. And Harness Lightning will take care of that. Unlicensed Disintegration here from Ritner. He's going to fire away. Take care of the Felidar Guardian right now. So we head back over to Robert Graves. Graves will draw. Saheeli Rai will wrap this one up if he does draw it.
He's got still cantripping that he can do here with his permanents in play through the Felidar Guardian.
Yep. And the big one here that he can target is Oath of Nissa. This is one of the interactions I really like in this deck. Harness Lightning, Cloud Blazer, and Servant of the Conduit. Cloud Blazer is a nice find. You know, the goal here, if you missed this deck yesterday, is you just kind of grind him down. You make Saheeli Rai and Felidar Guardian real cards. And I would say that Graves and the rest of Team Cardholder have done a nice job of that.
Yeah. You know, you still get the draws where you win on turn 4. It's not like those are off the table. But in the games where you don't find Saheeli, or you just don't want to keep in the combo because your opponent may have Authority of the Councils or some other annoying cards that are very anti-combo specific, you can still have those cards be plenty productive.
And the other thing, too, is you see Graves is going to tap a lot of mana here, I believe, for a Cloud Blazer. He'll gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. You know, he just sees so many cards now. As there's a Saheeli. We might see him try to go for the kill right now. He doesn't even have to go for the kill.
Right.
It's an option, but he's so far ahead in this game. Ritner's only seeing 1 card per turn. There's just really no coming back here, I think, unfortunately, for Ronnie. But also Graves gets to just kind of play this value game of, I'll attack with some creatures. I don't have to combo you. I can. It could come up. Here's a copy of Rogue Refine, a little more energy, another card. Reminds me a lot of Blue-White Revelark, honestly, from many moons ago. All the cards just kind of drew more cards.
Yep.
Scry 2 here from Ritner with the Veteran Motors, and he will extend the hand. Robert Graves going to win this match over Ronnie Ritner. 2-1. 4 colors to Healy, able to outlast Mardu Vehicles. And for Graves, a member of Team Card Hoarder, he's on to 9-1. Impressive start.